What's going on, world? It's your man T-Ray the Violinist here, and we are back for episode 2 of my new vlog series, Strings and Dreams. So last week on episode 1, we talked about becoming an entrepreneur. This week we're going to talk about some key resources that you need to have in place in order to continue to establish yourself as an entrepreneur and continue to grow and build your business with those around you. So with that being said, we're not going to spend much time in, I guess, the studio. We're going to be on the move today, so let's hop in the car and go. Peace. Alright, what's going on, world? So we are on the move today, as I said in the intro. So I'm about to go handle some business with a couple of meetings, and I'm also, you see I got my Dreams to Reality shirt on, right? So I'm also making drops of my new mixtape, Essence of the 90s R&B edition. So it's a mix of covers from the 90s era R&B. So if you see me looking away from the cameras, because I'm driving and I don't want to get in a wreck. So our last episode was all about becoming an entrepreneur and taking the steps in order to become an entrepreneur. So this week we're actually going to be touching on once you become an entrepreneur, some of the resources. This person in front of, what are you doing? The light is green. See, that's what happens when you're in your phone. You miss that the light is green. But anyway, so like I said, last week we talked about taking the steps to become an entrepreneur. So this week we're going to be talking about some of the resources that you need to have in place in order to continue moving forward as an entrepreneur. So through the day, you'll see me talking to a couple different entrepreneurs, and we'll get their perspective on it as well. So for now, I'm going to drive because texting and driving or video vlogging and driving is not encouraged. So do not follow what I'm doing. All right. So I'll check in with y'all in a few. Peace. All right. What's going on, y'all? We're here at PJ's Coffee House. I just got my coffee, my Morning Joe. So I got my man here, Mr. I Only Got a Minute. Producer extraordinaire, Mr. Justin Williams. So remember last week we talked about becoming an entrepreneur. So I'm an entrepreneur. Justin is a full-time music producer and also works in the community as well. So we're going to talk about this week about some of the different resources that you have to have once you become an entrepreneur. So Justin, do you have some insight for them as far as some of the things that they should know?
For me, I think the biggest resource is in people, like in your circle. You know, there's the whole thing, there's strength in numbers, but there's strength in the right numbers. And I always say, you know, T-Ray said I'm a music producer and I do a lot in the community. But I honestly feel that my biggest skill set is my ability to deal with people. As cliche as it sounds, your network is definitely your net worth. So building with the right people, with like-minded individuals, that will propel your career so much further than the Instagram ad ever will. So you build it right, the right people will gravitate to it, and that's how things start to blossom. But I only got a minute, bro.
Cool. So y'all take heed to that information that Justin just gave y'all. We're going to keep it moving. I got my coffee, so we're going to go on to the next spot. All right? Peace. All right, y'all. So we just finished up at PJ's Coffee House with my man Justin Williams. Producer extraordinaire, is a very, very talented guy and a great guy overall. So he touched on some key things about, you know, having the right people around you. Not saying that you have to just totally filter out everybody in your life and just get a whole new set of people around you, but making sure that you have the right people who are supporting you and who are going to definitely make sure that they have your best interest at hand, and also are going to make sure that you stay on course with the things that you say you're going to do, as far as staying on course with your goals and making sure that you continue to progress as a person, and also make greater strides than what you've already done. So if you've reached your 3 goals for the week, you know, set another 3 goals. It's all about progression. It's all about continuing to move forward and continue to move upward. So Justin dropped some really key things. We're going to move on to the next thing. I'm about to start making some drops for the Essence of the 90s mixtape, and we're going to have another special guest, so stay tuned. Hello, hello. How are you doing?
I'm so excited for my CD.
So here you are.
Washing my hands, everybody.
Oh, it's okay.
We're very hygienic.
So we're shooting footage for my new vlog series, Strings and Dreams, and I've talked about delivering. This is Melissa. Everybody say hi, Melissa.
The best makeup artist in New Orleans.
Yes,
Y'all, this
she has a.
R&B. We about to take it back in the studio. I'm so excited.
So
Thank
she
you,
has a
T-Ray.
CD, and that's another happy customer. Yeah.
I'm so excited. Thank you.
So we talk about having resources and people to count on. It's my man Steve, Steve Tien. We've been friends for over 10 years.
Over 10 years.
10 years, man. It's crazy. So if you need a car, come to Banner Chevrolet.
Keep me a Banner Chevrolet.
All right. He getting this copy of the essence of the 90s.
For local black-owned business, you know.
So why it gotta be black-owned business? You see this guy? You see this guy?
If I don't support black-owned business, who will? We need people supporting black-owned business.
I'm gonna leave him on that note. All right, so that was my man Steve. We've known each other for over 10 years, man. It's crazy to think that it's been that long. But we met during my freshman year of college at the University of New Orleans, and have a lot of history and a lot of stories. And just one of the things that we talked about, you know, with becoming an entrepreneur is having the proper resources and the right people around you. And Steve is definitely somebody who has been supporting since day one, since I was performing at open mics back in the dormitory that we lived in on campus. And you know, he's come to shows. He had me play at his wedding out in San Diego, so that was an honor. So, you know, it's just about continuing to have the right people around you and just making sure that you show your appreciation to those people. So we're gonna keep it moving. I told y'all we on the move today for episode 2 of Strings and Dreams, resources of being an entrepreneur. I'm sorry, resources that, how can I title this? I don't even know. So episode 1 was becoming an entrepreneur. Now we're just gonna call it resources, okay? Resources of being an entrepreneur, resources that you have to have. So with that being said, I'm done talking. I'm about to get back on the road, on to the next spot. What's going on, y'all? It's your man T-Ray the Violinist here. We are here for the second episode of Strings and Dreams. We were on the move yesterday, so today we're with another entrepreneur, Mr. Robert Haynes of the Haynes Consulting Group. He also has an event called Taste, where he does wine tasting of wines from all over the world. So it's a very unique experience. He's an entrepreneur full time, and we're talking about resources this week. So Rob, you have some insight on some of the things that you've had to put in place and utilize on your journey.
No, definitely. Capital, obviously. Need capital. And not for the first event, not the second event, the third event. You're looking at second, third year, fourth year. Network. You never really realize your network until you have to use it. So reaching out to those people that you never thought you'd reach out to before. And also look at your local, within the local communities and within the local city. There's a lot of organizations that can help you and get the word out. And just realizing the schools you went to, using those high schools, those elementary schools, stuff like that. Get that network out. You got a bunch of events, a bunch of stuff, you know, there's a huge network. Use those stuff you already paid for. I mean, your parents paid for school, so you gotta use it.
This is true. So with that being said, we're going to move on to the next spot. This is Robert Haynes. You want to give him your social media info?
So R Haynes, HARHAYNES06, and Tasting Tuesdays, all one word. Tasting Tuesdays, all one word.
Website?
RobertHaynes.wine. W-I-N-E. Yeah, right. Like wine.
Sip some wine.
There you go.
We'll see y'all soon. Peace.
Yeah.
Oh, what's going on, y'all? We are back in the lab. We've been on the move all day. We're gonna do our quick recap, and then we're gonna get out this thing. And I'm kind of hungry, so yeah. So we're not gonna be too long. All right. So recapping on the things we talked about today as far as resources. 1, make sure you have the right individuals around you as you grow your business. 2, you want to make sure we use our online resources and materials. All right. There's a wealth of information on the World Wide Web. I was about to say on the website. There's information on my website too, traytheviolence.com. But on the World Wide Web, there's a wealth of information that we can utilize in order to grow our businesses and continue to stay knowledgeable in our particular field. All right. Next thing is really important. do not be afraid to reach out to people in your field who may be more successful than you, okay? Iron sharpens iron. My man Justin Williams uses that term all the time. Iron sharpens iron. So do not let the fact that this person or a group of people are on a level or have reached the success level that you aspire to reach and feel like they're not gonna be receptive to your message. So don't send an email. I love your work and I would like to sit down and have a talk with you. Do not think that they're going to respond like this. No, leave me alone. I don't have time for you. I am famous and that is it. All right? Don't think that way. Think positive. Think that, you know, even though you may reach out that initial time and may not get a response, send another email. Send another email. Reach out to them on Twitter. I know Twitter, I know celebrities or people who are established are really accessible on Twitter, and you can send them a quick message and they may say, hey, I don't have time to talk right now, but here's someone else that you can talk to about this particular business. So make sure you use those resources. Social media is a great resource to being able to reach out to people who are on that level that you aspire to get to. Next thing is, we don't know everything, all right? Having resources and people, as Justin said, your network is really your net worth. All right, and he made a really good point in saying that, because we don't know everything as people. Even in our own businesses, like, we don't know everything. People that have been in business for 10 years may not know how to do a particular task, but they may know someone who is well versed in being able to accomplish that task, and they can teach them how they can execute that task themselves later on. So we don't know everything. Don't be afraid to ask. Keep that in mind. All right, build with like-minded individuals, which goes back to making sure you have the right people in your circle. But if you want to collaborate, like as an artist, you know, artists collaborate all the time. So collaborating with people who you feel like you can be a good supporting actor or actress for them, and they can be a good supporting actor or actress for you and in your particular field, because building with other people is vital, and collaboration is vital in order to keep things going. All right, I'm still out of breath. We've been running all day. So use your resources to the best of your ability. All right, maybe online, text, call, email, sending a letter. You know, people send letters to people all the time, and they actually get a response. Another thing is, I know we live in the digital age, but do not be afraid to pick up a book. All right, do not be afraid to pick up a book. These are a couple of books that I've used over the years. This one is actually pretty new. It's called Invisible Influence. Who's the author? Jonah Berger. Okay, Invisible Influence. If you haven't heard about it, you can read it. This book I've had for a while. Starting Your Own Business, and it's actually forwarded by the co-founder of Subway. All right, so this book is pretty old. I've had this book since college, so utilizing actual books as well. Okay, and as entrepreneurs and business owners, it's vital that we have something to jot our ideas down in. All right, this is a resource as well. A blank notebook is a resource. All right, so we can utilize this to write down our ideas and kind of put a timeline on everything and focus our energy. So with that being said, my name is T-Ray the Violinist, and this has been the second episode of Strings and Dreams. We talked about resources today, and we're going to keep building on that. All right, so make sure you subscribe to my YouTube page, T-Ray the Violinist. Also check me out on Instagram at T_Ray the Violinist. Facebook is T-Ray the Violinist. Twitter is T-Ray Violinist, and then my website is traytheviolinist.com. And if you go right to my website, you can find all that information. Social media tabs at the bottom. All right. So with that being said, this has been the second edition of Strings and Dreams with your man T-Ray the Violinist. And remember, it's never too late to make your dreams your reality. All right. Peace.